Hi everyone, welcome to C-Suit Strategy. Elevate every move, scale beyond, and our topic today for discussion is the role of technology in modern learning and development. Your go-to podcast on strategy and growth. I am your host Prem Kumar, and today we will explore how learning and development is enabling organizations. A special welcome to all tuned to Power of Knowing Forum, a weekly podcast series, and episode 240 on LinkedIn Live. We are honored to have Archana, L&D professional, organizational and workforce development, empowering and transforming lives, joining us today. Let's welcome our esteemed speaker to the podcast event and let's dive into the topic. Hi, Archana.
Hello, Prem.
Welcome to our podcast. A small intro about yourself to the audience again.
I am delighted to be on Power of Knowing Forum. And yeah, welcome people. Welcome to Archana Empowers.
Okay, let's dive into the topic, Archana. How has your view been on L&D function evolved with the rise of technology and what moment redefined it for you personally?
Well, we had pandemic. It changed the world. It hit the world like never before. And the perspective of learning, development, education, everything changed. Everything just turned topsy turvy. People started connecting, sitting in their home. People started, learning, sitting their home in the comfort of their home. And education was going on. Technology made it so continuous. It supported like anything else in the field of learning and development and education. And that was the point which which hit me like never before in this field, learning and development.
In your experience, what is the biggest unspoken point in corporate learning that still hasn't been solved? Because I think corporate is been evolving, right? And there are some pain points which are not solved. Your take on it, Archana.
So in corporates, on their on their learning platforms, people make modules and learning courses, which are very much generalized in nature. But actually, what happens is we have neurodiverse learners out there. Each and every person has their unique ability to learn as they perceive things. People are different when it comes to learning. But the generalized platform and generalized courses kills the uniqueness of every learners. So this is the pain point if we speak about in corporates, that modules are very much generalized. Courses are very much generalized. When it comes to learning, things have to be customized according to the learner's need. We need to have a proper assessment according to the learner's need. So if that is done well, then it might really hit the point where learning hits the most.
Okay. Uh, when implementing a new learning tech platform, what's one critical mistake organizations often overlook rather than they miss out? That's the point that I would like to ask.
Okay, people are so delighted with the new technology upcoming to their platform that they forget to prepare their workforce for it.
Hmm.
The people forget to prepare their people while training for the training which is required for the platform. The change that will come after the platform which is implemented on their on their
System.
system, yes. And they forget to prepare their people for for the tool or the module, whatever they are come up with, with the technology, new technology in learning and development. They forget to prepare the people.
Now, what you are saying is when a new platform is built, the platform usage and how the functionality is there is what they are missing, is what you are saying, Archana. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, they they lack the preparation which is needed for people
To
to
have the
get them to
to
get them
have that
acquainted.
platform going on and manage in a way that they have envisaged, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, got it.
absolutely.
Now, if you had to build an L&D strategy from scratch today, what or where would you start and what would you avoid? Because uh, there are a lot of L&D strategies that are coming up. So, your take on it, Archana.
So to build an L&D strategy, I will just do the psychometric analysis on the workforce and get to know their learning styles,
Hmm.
which I did on my physical training as well. That thing which the the result we get from psychoanalysis assessment from the learner's point of view is very helpful in building the program. So for the start we have to have that learning capabilities of our workforce so that we can build accordingly, so that we can build this learning strategy accordingly or learning module accordingly. And what one thing which I will steer clear away from is copying from the brands, because what might work for them might not work for you. It is totally and completely depends on your workforce learning ability.
Agree on that, because how you want to structure with whatever new system that is coming in is what I think. First, you, as you rightly said, you'll have to bring a psychometric analysis, understand the trends and patterns for the organizations to build skills accordingly, based on which you have to build a strategy, is what you're saying. What does a human centric L&D strategy look like when in a digital overloaded workspace? Because now you talk, anything is digital, right? There is
Yeah,
nothing
everything is
without
digital. Yeah,
nothing.
absolutely. Yeah.
You have to have an approval study also. There's a digital workflow to it. Everything is digital. What is that you see which is going to play kind of, if I'll give an example where earlier if something happens, you had some person to go and ask, this is how it is, this is where is the challenge, can I? So that guy used to be sitting next to you or guide you to get things done. Now with the digital thing coming, you are told to raise a ticket or raise a talk to a chat to an agent, chat to somebody who's there
Chat
on
to
the
bots.
chat to
Chat to
bots.
bots.
Yeah. So in that kind of a thing, what does a human centric L&D strategy look like?
As a human, if we talk about human centric L&D strategies, we're talking about how to have that human approach in learning and development. So we need to connect while imparting, while delivering, or while making a module. We need to connect somehow to the learner's need. We need to connect somehow to the learner's emotional psychology. Only then that technology would result in a human centric way. So if we if we have that empathetic style within our modules or within our technology, if we have that storytelling style in our modules, then we might get that connect which we are looking in for to get that human centric approach.
Okay.
If a module is playing and a learner is hooked to the module, we need to have that we need to have that psychological link to the learner's need. Only then that module can be a human centric, it will be called a human centric module.
Okay. Got that point. Now, coming to the next point, what I wanted to understand from your leadership lens, how can L&D tech empower not just skills, but also culture and belonging? Because I have a skill, somewhere a culture has to build, and then you need to have, with that skill, where do I belong? Kind of a thing. So, how do you look at that, Archana?
um, how
You want
if we talk about I think
kind
how
of linking learning to an identity and a purpose is what we think should come in, is what my feel is. Your take?
Okay, linking how a technology can empower us, how
Hmm.
technology can empower us, not just upskill us, but empower us.
Hmm.
Like if we talk about mentorship, how mentorship is has come up with ease with the technology, how middle managers and senior level managers are using this technology to mentor their people, to mentor their teams, is what empowering them the best possible way. We are not just here working upon upskilling, taking modules and copying things and giving the answers back and completing the modules. We are not just on that platform. Rather, we are connecting with our people emotionally, empathetically, and which is resulting in empowering, not just upskilling.
So I think what we are seeing is, we are seeing something as, once a person is learning something, how do we empower him to implement, is one thing, is what I think. The second is, how is he identified when compared to what he was earlier after the skill is being learned. That's what I think from a standpoint is, the skill and the culture and the alignment is what we are trying to see, is what I understand from your pointer, Archana. Now, what was one underestimated tool or platform that completely changed how teams started to learn itself, or learning started to look at?
Okay, there are many. Like, I very much underestimated the power of WhatsApp group chats, voice notes, which, you know, and not to miss social media. Earlier, social media was not taken that seriously as it now, as we are taking it now.
Hmm.
But actually, it is helping businesses to thrive. It is helping people to learn. If handled and used in a proper manner, these tools and technology actually make you
Hmm.
grow your business, make you grow your upskill you, empower you, connect you with right people. So, in my point of view, earlier social media was just a media to connect, but now it is the medium which makes us thrive and which makes us thrive and grow, not in business but in personal life also.
I think I will take Power of Knowing Forum itself as a reference, because we've not gone offline any platforms. It's all on social media, and we are primarily focusing on LinkedIn, and then we moved our this one to Facebook and YouTube and Insta. Now we are on all the five platforms if you really look, but Twitter we don't subscribe because it goes off just like a thing, but we are there on Twitter as well. Now, looking at the kind of digital way of learning is per se, is we have completed 240 episodes. Yours is the 240th episode for that. So if you really look at, there have been lot of traction that we have seen in the digital space and the social media space, which is keeping this platform going on, and great leaders like you and others who have joined us to bring up this podcast to this large scale is one thing that I would like to thank everybody who's been part of this journey. In today's fast paced world, how do you balance speed versus depth in tech based learning modules? Because the attention span is going down very small, and that's where we want to see how tech based learning modules can help us.
Yes. Coming on to that, I
Yeah.
would really love to bring again the micro learning in picture, my favorite topic.
Okay.
So to keep up with the speed, micro learning is the best tool. And then when you have that required audience and required attention, then you have you have all the platform for you to go in depth with the topic, to go in depth with people, connecting with people. So to balance the need for speed with going in depth with this particular topic or with particular training, it is my way of dealing with the balance of need for speed and going in depth in the learning strategies.
Okay. uh, Coming to the next pointer that I want to understand is how do you ensure that learner's voice is heard in a technology driven L&D system or ecosystem?
Well, there are two most important things, and I guess they are very much underrated. One is feedback.
Hmm.
Feedback is not only for the person for whom it is being given, but actually the person giving feedback resonates with the people who are looking forward to grab that opportunity, or who are looking forward to take up the module or training program, or looking up for the upskilling or empowering opportunity. Feedback is for both the side. Feedback helps both the side. And the other one is interaction. The more you interact, the more the learners will come up in the picture. The more the interaction would be in any program, delivering physically, online, or any meeting, any situation where two or three people are there, the more the interaction, the more the learners are valued, the more their voice is being heard.
Okay. Now, coming to the next pointer, what role should AI play in personalizing? Where is the fine line between helpful and intrusive, right? So,
Yeah, I think, see, if you are using AI technologies, and like today we have AI tools and technology. Earlier we were connecting on social media, but we have to be aware and mindful of using the technology. We have to have the proper information, and we have to have the knowledge of pros and cons of using each and every technology, so that we are not a victim of the negative impacts of the technology, rather than we are making a good use of the technology, which is helping us grow and supporting us in our uh, productivity and workload.
one pointer that you are saying, Archana, is that technology enablement is important, but how effective that is getting used. And the second point that it is talking about is should we get into everything and everything on technology, or there should be a stuff that you should take? That's the point
uh,
that you're trying.
yeah, to have a proper knowledge and to have a proper information about pros and cons of using any technology, because we have to have the knowledge of negative effects as well as the positive effects of using technology. Like when we are on a phone, for example, we are on a phone and Google is hearing everything. We are talking, we are having a conversation, and the moment you open your Instagram, the ad related to that conversation pops in. So this is the extent to which technology is into our lives, and we have to be very mindful while using it, especially when it comes to our handling our finances while on the phone, and handling our monetary transactions while we are you know while we are using technology, and while we are having AI apps in our phone, not on phone, laptop, anywhere, but we have to be very mindful with the information.
Important points, because everything and whatever you speak is getting recognized, and there are patterns that are built around based on what you're discussing. Now, how can you coach mid-level managers to lead with empathy while rolling out tech learning programs?
we have to make a we have to make a program
Hmm.
which enable them to feel like the how their team would feel when
Hmm.
we implement a particular program, or when we implement a particular technology. They have to think according to their team's perspective and point of view while implementing. So with this technique, we can actually train mid-level managers to implement a new technology by keeping in mind the perspective of their team. to keep the process, to not to keep the process in mind of the implementation, but to keep the people in mind while implementing. It's not the process which is important, it is the people for whom it is being implemented is important.
The point was there was a discussion that I was doing, Archana, where we were looking at is whom are we building all these systems, right? So it is not for the machines, at least it is for
It
the
is for the
humans.
humans, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So looking at what is getting built, if there is no human centric approach to how the system is going to work, there is no point that you build a system. So that's where the topic ended while we were doing a discussion somewhere in a podcast some time back, where we said every AI, every new technology or any tool that is getting implemented is helping humans to grow in such a way that they are not doing the repetitive tasks. That is what we spoke. And finally, when we concluded, was the pointer that we took was AI can be an enabler, like how ATMs enabled cash withdrawal, how Google enabled search for us. AI can help us fine tune the way that the proper text or the proper information should be concised and written in a proper way. Just to give you a small intro about how AI or any other tools that can be helping us to do more work meaningfully rather than wasting of time, right? So
Yeah,
that's the point.
absolutely.
That's the point I
Absolutely.
wanted to understand. And in if an organization is seeing low L&D adoption, what is the first thing that we should check?
See, we have to check for relevance, whether it is, relevant for our team, whether it is relevant for the learners. We have to first check for the relevance, then we have to check for the ease of using it. How easy it is for the users, how easy it is for the people who will be using it. Is it user friendly or not? And the third most important thing is leadership endorsement. Are the leaders using the same thing? Are the leaders upskilling themselves? Because the team will look upon to leaders and they will set an example for them. If leaders are not upskilling, if leaders are not involved in the modules which they are implementing in their teams, I guess then there is no point. Leaders have to get involved with the implementation of each and every tool with their workforce. So these are the three things.
Okay, so look at those pointers and see if there is anything that you can get help where L&D can be looking at more deeper penetration in each of the organization. What is one outdated L&D belief that listeners or leaders still cling to, and why it must go now?
So there are two things which I feel that learning and development is always mistaken as education. People think that we L&D people are educating them,
Hmm. Okay.
where this is still going on.
Hmm.
And the other thing is leaders mostly thinks that they don't need to upskill.
Okay.
They think that their experience is enough,
Hmm.
which is not. With upcoming fast and furiously bombarding technology, upskilling is the only thing which keeps us on going. So people sitting at leadership positions need to upskill as
Yeah.
well.
Very true point, because now who's enabling, what is enabling is becoming a more important point for every organization. So coming to our next point, what how can a C-suite executive genuinely support a first tech first L&D function without just throwing budgets as at it?
So as I just said that C-suite executives has to bound to get involved with the team, with the modules. They have to ask questions, they have to monitor the platform, they have to get involved deeply with the platform as well as with the workforce, so that so that they know what is being implemented and how it is making an impact on the workforce.
Next point, because once the leadership is done, how do we look at working across various teams? What's one L&D experiment that you try that surprised even with its in success?
Okay, so again, I have to come up to the point which is called micro learning.
Okay.
It is come up to the success actually, yes. You know, the bite sized modules which we give, which the bite sized modules bring back the audience. They get the attention of the audience to get the deeper information. So that is the only thing for me which, you know, which is holding my hand since I'm into learning and development, since I started this journey. To If you want attention, you have to go into micro learning and then bring back the audience to get in depth learnings.
I think what you are saying, micro learning is playing a big role because
Big role,
after
yes.
the reels and the YouTube announcing that 3 minute video is good enough for a reel and stuff like that, where earlier it was 90 seconds and stuff like that. Now YouTube has changed the game again, where it says a reel can be between anything from 60 seconds to 3 minutes. That's the way you can convey a message, because at times we are not able to convey a message in 60 to 90 seconds, which becomes tough when a question and the answer has to be little detailed, right? So that's where I think the whole micro learning journey is shaping up for freshers entering the remote world. How should L&D tech make them feel included from day one?
I think with the ongoing
Archana, I
format,
think one point, I think you're very close to the camera. Only half of your face is visible.
s- is it visible now?
Can you go a little back, please?
Earlier it was fine.
Yeah, yeah, that should be fine.
Can you
Okay.
please repeat the question?
Okay. I from for the freshers entering the remote first world, how should L&D tech make them feel included from day one? Because
Day one. Okay.
we are still in the hybrid way of working, right? So 50-60% only has returned to the work. 100% is not working from office. So that's where I think how do we include the people who are working from remote is the question.
I think the best way to feel people include, whether they are freshers or in a hybrid mode, for freshers, it is the induction program. The the quality of induction program will make them feel, you know, welcomed. Will make them acquaint with the company policies and culture, and also by giving proper induction trainings, including soft skill trainings, including required technical trainings. The introductory trainings plays a huge role while welcoming people on board, as well as what we call as interpersonal trainings when people are working in hybrid mode. Interpersonal trainings are very important when people are working in hybrid mode, because they need to come together and need to be together physically and interact together to get that workflow ongoing.
I also understood, because when I started working in another organization, it was just about COVID, and I started to work. I was inducted on or onboarded remotely only. I didn't go to office for almost a year, and I joined them. And it was May 2020 when this pandemic had hit, and I shifted my job. That made me make things easy, because that is the kind of induction that they did played an important role, as you rightly said.
Quality of induction plays a very important role to feel the new entrant welcome.
Yeah.
And by taking that induction program, they get to know the quality, the kind of work culture a company is into. They get to know each and everything just by the induction program. So we need to make a very effective and personalized induction program to make people feel welcome.
Okay. What are that some hidden biases we need to watch for AI led or automated learning journeys?
So automated learning journeys and AI technology think that learn think on the basis that learners, there are average learners, whereas they are not. Every learner has the unique ability to learn. Like I before said, that we have neurodiverse learning pool, learners pool out there. What might have worked for one learner would not and will not might not work for another learner. People have different learning abilities. Some are kinesthetic, some are visual learners, some are audio visual learners. There are different kind of learning abilities which people possess, but the automated system gives ignores the fact that we have neurodiverse learning pool, learners pool. They make program, they make a generalized setup which they think that everybody will get it, whereas everybody will not get it. Might they will. There are times, like for example, I give you a very general example. When WhatsApp come, our grandparents were not using WhatsApp,
Hmm.
but they are using it right now. They took time. They It took a lot of time to make them understand WhatsApp, although they are using it right now. And it took, and how much time it took to us to get acquainted with WhatsApp. So the technology is out there, but the ability of learners is very diverse, which AI and automated system, they don't keep that in mind. Like while building that thing, they don't keep the diversity in mind. So there is a very, different kind of learners out there who may take years, who may take months to know a certain uh, tool. But there are people like new generation. If you talk about new generation, Gen Zs, we say, they are, for them, the technology is on their click.
True. True.
So this is the thing which the platforms and tools and new upcoming technology, they, ignore the fact.
Coming to one thing where how can technology actually help managers become better mentors, or is it still a human art?
Yes, technology definitely supports. It gives the uplift you need, but no, it can never replace human being, because human beings are living beings with empathy, emotions, and psychology, which technology can never replace. And technology is there to support you, not to replace you. It is built that way. So
I've been talking on this AI piece for a very long time. In this one, everybody still thinks AI is going to replace everybody. So I think that's one pointer that you are mentioning at the moment. Technology is an enabler rather than a replacement, right? So I take that point. Yeah, go ahead, Archana. Sorry.
yeah, I would like to add a little thing from my experience. It's a very general experience. Like, when I just started on LinkedIn, when I started LinkedIn way back,
Hmm.
when I was not posting regularly, I used to make my own posts. I
Hmm.
used to think a lot. And now, when ChatGPT is there, I think, yes, of course, I think daily. I just put two of my thoughts and it give me the post I want. So see, thoughts are mine, but the structure is automated.
Hmm.
So this is the way how technology is supporting, it is supporting the way I do my work, but thoughts are mine. I am feeding the content, it is giving me the structured form. So
Okay.
this is how a technology should help, and this is how technology helps. But it
Hmm.
can never replace that empathy. It can never replace my thoughts.
Yeah,
Can
definitely.
can Chat GPT get my thoughts without me putting my thoughts into it? No.
Not possible. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the big difference.
Okay. Now coming to the next pointer and the final pointer that I have is, how do we keep senior leaders personally invested in their own learning journeys today? And what is one lesson you should wish to learn L&D leadership now, and how you could help them?
See, as per the scenarios, L&D leaders should learn, which we call learn through reverse mentoring. It is very important. When we reach at certain point, we reach at certain experience, there are things which are upcoming and which a new entrants will know more than us. So reverse mentoring is the thing which helps to know better the workforce, which helps to know better the technology, which helps to upskill, and which helps in productivity. And the other thing is peer learning. If you talk about leadership, yeah. Get involved with peers and keep learning, keep upskilling yourself.
With this, I think, Archana, whatever pointers I had in mind on the discussion of role of technology in the modern learning and development is done. So you have any final answers that you would like to put across?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I would like to come up with this thing that when I started my journey with learning and development, I used to think about content is the priority. But when I'm going deep into the topic, when I'm going deep into this profession, and when I'm going deep into the technology of learning and development, I come to know that it's not the content, it's the intent of learning. It's the intent and connection what matters the most. No
Hmm.
matter what content you have, content is everywhere. It's around us. We are sunk in the pool of content. But what is that thing which keep up you with the learning is intent. And what is one thing which connect you with people is the emotions and empathy, the connection you make.
Okay. Now, coming to that pointer, I think we are at the top of the hour. The questions that we have had in mind have been done, Archana, and
It's
thank you for
already
being
time. I
here.
didn't know that.
So we have done most of the pointers that I had in mind, and we are good to end the session. And we are early actually by about 10-15 minutes with the pointers that we wanted to discuss in today's discussion. And thank you for joining us, Archana. It's been a great
Thank
thing
you
for
for
the
having
audience.
Archana Empowers with Power of Knowing Forum, Prem.
Welcome.
And I'm
With this,
very
Archana,
delighted to be associated with Power of Knowing Forum since long. And Power of Knowing Forum share valuable insights, share valuable conversation, topic related. If people are connected with it, they might truly get the information they are seeking for it. They are seeking.
thank you, Archana. With this, I think what we have done to have what Archana said is to spread that wings around across and spread the message that we are talking pointers which are making a difference in the listeners' minds. People are getting pointers where they can use it in a day-to-day lives, and the leaders are speaking. That's the point that we are trying to look at here. People like Archana who are into coaching are also here, who help us in understanding various aspects, how things shape up in organizations, and how learning and development is, which is a core factor of pointer which Archana always talks. We have streamed these pointers to LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Hope you found this discussion valuable, and thank you for joining us today. Our next episode or the next podcast is scheduled on the 29th of this month, which is going to be on data privacy, transforming compliance from check boxes to culture is the pointer that we are discussing, which is going to be our 241st episode at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday next week. Looking forward to see you again. Good day and bye for now. Bye, Archana. Thank you for being here. It's been having a great time having you here, Archana.
Keep watching for more insights with Power of Knowing Forum and Archana Empowers. Thank you all. Thank you for having me, Prem.
Thank you.